pretty feisty and shared some things in my story that I don't normally share. But then I just had such a good chat with one of my friends who sits on the other side and could not be happier of where our country is right now. Could not be happier with our current president. Is so excited that this bill just passed. And then I also have been talking all day back and forth with friends who literally have diabetes and are terrified they will actually die by losing their insurance. And friends who have children who they are scared that they won't be able to get the life-saving surgeries that they're waiting to get. I had a life-saving surgery in 2023 and I'm in this group, and a lot of these people are terrified that they may not be able to get this life-saving surgery once this bill goes through, and they will quite literally die. And I have friends who have family members who are literally petrified to leave their homes, that are losing their jobs because they're so scared if they go to work, they will be detained and put in inhumane camps that look just like concentration camps. And the reality is that we want to think that life is either or. We want to think that we should support Israel or Gaza. We should support Iran or the US. We should support Ukraine or Russia. We should support queers or Christians. We should support this or that. And the reality of life is this or that is the most dangerous thing. You versus me is the most dangerous thing we can do. And my goal and my dream and what I want to say in this world is that, can we come back to you and I are humans? And you and I deserve rights. And you and I deserve love. And you and I deserve respect. And I have friends that are like, I am not celebrating America this 4th of July. I am not pumped about it. And I have friends that could not be happier to celebrate. And you know what? I will celebrate. And I am happy to celebrate America. Because do we have far to go? Yes, a lot. But have we come so far? And what America was actually founded on, America was founded on the fact that we don't want one religion, that we don't want one person to hold all the power, that we don't want tyranny, that we don't want someone to tell everyone else what they can and can't do, that we don't want military to police our own people against our own will. That is actually what Don't Tread on Me means. That is actually what the Second Amendment was for. That is actually America, the melting pot. That is actually what the Statue of Liberty represents, is bring me your sick and your hurt and your needy, and may we find peace among one another, next to one another, aside one another. May we learn to love our neighbor again. If one holds a Trump sign and one holds a Biden sign, may we learn to still be neighbors. May we learn to say both and. I disagree with you and I love you. May we have ears to hear those who believe different. May we have hearts to love those who are different. That is the America I celebrate. That is the freedom that I believe in. When we celebrate bombs bursting in air, we are celebrating that people died for you to believe and vote how you believe and vote, and for me to believe and vote how I believe and vote. And that is freedom. And that is beauty. And that is terrifying to lose. But as of today, we still have it. As of today, I am still legally allowed to be married to my wife, and we are making a family together, and I have clean water, and I have police that will show up and defend me if I am in danger, and I have firefighters, and I have teachers, and I have roads I get to drive on that I never built, and I get to be a part of businesses that I never built, and I get to dream that I can build my own life, and I can build my own company, and I can create a life that I want because of capitalism, and that I'm drowning in medical bills. And sometimes universal health care sounds really great. And I don't know if I would have gotten the life-saving surgery when I did if I lived somewhere that had universal health care. So I may not have needed to pay for it. And I realized that I have privilege that I was able to pay for it. And so I think that's both and. It's both, I'm grateful, and it hurts my heart that if you don't have that, if you don't have that money, if you don't have that right, if you don't have that freedom, you may not get that. But today, I'm not being beheaded for saying this. Today, I'm not being beheaded for being married to a woman instead of a man. Today, I still have fresh drinking water. Today, it is still a free country for those who live here. And there is still so far to go. And there are still so many things that I see wrong. And there is still so many things and so many people that are claiming to preach Jesus and are doing the exact opposite of what he came here to do. In 2016, I was a Christian right nationalist that voted for Donald Trump. And I believed everything I believed was good and was holy and was true. And in 2016, I was still praying my gay away every single day. I was studying scriptures every single day. And I was believing in the story of the elite. And today, there are so many things I disagree with 2016 version of Kaylee. And there's a lot of things I still believe with her. There's a big part of me that still believes in the Jesus of Nazareth. There is still a big part of me that believes in the Jesus that met the woman at the well. There is still a big part of me that believes that there is a good and loving and kind God that has something to do with the goodness and the beauty and the creation of this world. There is something in me that still wanted to bring a child into this world, into this country, and let them experience the human experience, even though, and many days I sit here and I'm like, this human experience is BS. This sucks. This hurts. And it is beautiful and amazing and luscious. And I'm so grateful. And I hate war. And I am grateful for the wars that got me my freedom. And I hate people killing people. And I am grateful that that was a reality that happened. There was a war that was fought for us to have the freedoms we have today. And I come from a big military family. And I am so grateful for every single person that has fought in any way, if they have marched in marches, if they threw the first brick at Stonewall for me to have my sexual freedoms, if they went to Iraq and Afghanistan after 9/11, if they are a firefighter that has showed up when I needed them, if they are an EMT that saved my life, I am so grateful for every single one of them. For the people who figured out how to build roads that we drive on, figured out how we have clean drinking water in America. Like, I get it. We have a long way to go. And I would like you to go spend time in the Nairobi slums in Kenya if you think that living in America is horrible. And I would like you, queer people, to spend time in a country where you would be beheaded if it was known that you were queer. Obviously, I don't want you to be beheaded. So, no, these are all hypotheticals. And then wonder if you are grateful for the freedoms we have today in 2025 in America. Because I am. And I think we lose the beauty of humanity when we can't sit across from people that are different than us or believe different than us and remember that we are all one. They're not different. They're also just evolved monkeys with opposable thumbs, trying to do their best and figure this all out. The person who votes different than you, the person who prays different than you, the person who marries different than you is truly not that different than you. The person who was born in a different country and came here to give their children a better life is not that different than you who wake up every day and go to a job that you hate so you can give your children a better life than you had. They're not that different than you. They are you. They are humanity, and you are humanity. And may we remember all of that as we go into 4th of July weekend. I know, and this bill just passed. There is a lot of big feelings. And it is really easy to sit behind a keyboard and be hateful and be disgusting and be nasty to other human beings. And it was so easy today. I sat and I was pissed. And I was talking with some of my friends, and I just started resharing a whole bunch of things. And I stand by every single thing that I shared. But I also wish that more people had the conversation I just had with one of my friends, where both of us are like, I get that. That was really painful when your husband was a cop and he was being shot at. Pretty hard to defend anything but your husband. And then she's like, I get that you and your wife, I love you guys. And I'm so happy for you to bring another kid into this world. And I can't believe people want to take that right away from you. And we get back to humanity. Can we just get back to humanity? To treating all people with dignity, to giving all people the right of the pursuit of happiness. That is the America I celebrate. And that is the America I pray for. And that is the world that I pray for. That is the Iran I pray for. That is the Gaza I pray for. That is the Israel I pray for. That is the Russia I pray for. That is the Ukraine I pray for. That is the North and South Korea I pray for. What I pray for is humanity, to love one another, and to say, I see you, I value you, I respect you. Yeah. And I also work for a company now. And I want to make known that the company that I work for shares none of these beliefs with me. And I am not speaking on behalf of anyone, of any company, nor any organization that I am a part of. This is me, in my raw, in my wrestling, in my fear, and in my joy. Because all of it, the only way we will all survive and move forward is if we give space for all of it. For the joy, for the fear, for the hatred, for the anger, for the rage, for the sadness, for the full spectrum of what it means to be a human. And then let us do the bravest thing of walking across the aisle to those that you are told are different than you, to those that are told you are bad, and to love them, and to listen to them, and to hear them, to grow with them, and to grow from them. Happy 4th of July.